Welcome back to the Mission Foods Sonoma Speed Tour. One of my favorite groups has always been B Sedan. I didn't have time to change back into my SVRA shirt, but my Trans Am shirt works because B Sedan was a huge part of Trans Am series back in the 1970s. We're going to start out, check this out. You think the car's for sale, but it's not for sale. Troy Ermish, ErmishRacing.com, makes some of the coolest 510s. I think he's got 5 or 6 customers here. One of the best racers we have in vintage racing, but don't count out Rob Fuller, one of the best racers we have in vintage racing. He's got 3 customers here. He builds these. He's got a Z Custom Garage out of the Bay Area. Also has the best mustache and goatee in vintage racing. And that's just as important in vintage racing as fast. But these two go at it. Then we've got Richard Stewart Milne. Check this out. B Sedan is usually BMW Alpha Datsun, but it is Datsun. I can't see a BMW until way back there, and Alpha's non-existent as we get 3 minutes. Armin is right here in this beautiful flat number 25. Taz Harvey. Jim Frula, just developing this car. Then I got to do something cool. So David Anderson in this car and Rick Shelton, best friends. These cars are prepared exactly alike. They're going to be out there racing, having a great time. It's getting loud. Jonathan, I'm going to send it back to you. This is the all B Sedan race. A great way to end the Mission Foods Sonoma Speed Tour. I'm going to be up there with you and Scott to finish calling this race. I can't wait for the green flag. Rick, good luck out there. B Sedan's Mission Foods Sonoma Speed Tour. What can be better than this?
Well, I hope he's not taking any phone calls from that as he goes along. Maybe he's filming it, who knows. But the B Sedans, I too favor these guys. I love the B Sedans because, well, the reason I like them is, as Ben alludes to, you know, this was part of Trans Am back in the day, Scott, and also they just look good. They remind me of my youth, and you know, it's a real battle between America, Europe, and Japan, and that's how it should be, right? A worldwide battle.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, Alpha was the Datsun's main competition, and they had a great battles in the it started out as the under 2 liter championship. Porsche was also in that for a very brief amount of time. Then it became a Datsun Alpha battle in the under 2 5 liter. That was for 71 and 72, and Datsun and Alpha went down to the very last race, the very last lap almost, before Datsun claiming the manufacturer's championship. They claimed it again, both with Brock Racing Enterprises and John Morton, the driver, in a number 46 Datsun 510, and then they pulled out of the series. And when both Datsun and Alpha pulled out, there was basically nothing left, and it's been into the as we've known it, the historic Trans Am that we saw and the Trans Am contemporary cars that we saw today.
I mean, just sort of kind of alluding to that. I mean, if you were to hold a modern-day sedan, B Sedan race, what I mean, are we talking Honda Civics, or is it almost like TCR?
B Sedan, I'm trying to remember back from the SCCA Club Racing. B Sedan has kind of been rolled into GT2. Yep. So you would have Honda Civics, you'd have Nissans, but they'd be more of the probably, well, you'd have 510s in there, probably the 710. You probably would have, just trying to remember, Honda would probably be in there. I think the Honda Civic may classify as a B Sedan, or what would be called a GT2. But anyway, but yeah, it would be a great race. You could have that in today.
Yep, and that's why I wanted to bring it up to modern day, because people may not be au fait with the word B Sedan, because it is an historical term, and obviously it works for what we're doing, which is historic racing. I'm just trying to equate it. For example, our pace car is a Honda Civic, and that to me is what I would call a 4-door family sedan car. Not a high-powered car, but one that with less weight and everything pulled out of it could be just like these guys.
And as I think about it, actually I think B Sedan might be more equated to GT3, where the 200 SXs are.
We'll see if the B Sedan man agrees with us. Ben, we're having a conversation here. If you were to put these in modern day terms, what kind of cars? I said Honda Civics.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in the SCCA they have a great class, kind of B spec.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that might be a little bit more in the spirit of this, but I don't know enough. I've actually never been to an SCCA event.
No.
I've only been to the SVRA events.
Well,
I watch them on live stream, but I will tell you, we've got pressure, gentlemen.
Okay.
Some of the drivers and crews have said, hey, you guys have got to call this race. Don't get distracted. They know me too well. They're
wow.
Take some Adderall, man. Don't get distracted and call this race.
All right.
And so we've got to do that. It's going to be a great race, especially up front. Two really good friends, but arch rivals, Rob Fuller, Troy Ermish, both in 510s. And like I said at the grid, it is all Datsuns with a BMW at the rear, which is very odd for the B Sedan series here. I'm going to have to give it up for my friend Matt Rose. Matt Rose, where's the Beamers, buddy?
And more importantly, where's the Alphas? The Alpha and Datsun were the ones that were, in fact, the Datsun 510 was kind of taken from the BMW 62. The engineering and design was kind of taken from that.
Alpha weren't as good as their Formula One cars of today, back in the day. Should I put it that way? In terms of maintaining.
I spoke to Rob and Troy at Laguna Seca, said, hey man, we're going to throw you a late green, try to stay side by side, make for a good show, and look at this, they're giving us a great show. Look at the start they're giving us.
And a nose ahead by the 38 on the right-hand side of your screen, but the number 7 is coming quick. Rob Fuller trying to go around the outside, but slots into second place, and it is Troy Ermish who takes the lead up the hill for the first time.
And Troy Ermish, he won his GT Light Championship here in that Datsun 510 at Sonoma in 2018 when they held the runoffs here. This morning, or actually this morning it was Roy Fulmer who was able to get out front of Troy Ermish and take the win, stopping Ermish's win streak here in California because he had won all 4 rounds of 2 B Sedan feature races and won Group 8 yesterday, but Fuller running first in the Group 8 feature this morning.
Already spreading out, and the 2 leaders really on a sprint. They pulled ahead away from 3rd place, but there's a good battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and possibly 6th as they dive into the carousel now for the first time.
We know what's missing for this race is our great little car, Donald Racine's Mini.
Yes, it is. Yeah, where is it?
Yeah, I went and asked them if they wanted to do this race, and I think they were in, but then they had a little bit of an incident this morning in this morning session, and they packed up and went back to the beautiful part of California. But look at this as we look at Optima Batteries, turn 7. Great shot there of Taz Harvey. I love the liveries, the paint schemes of these beautiful 510s, and then there's Troy Ermish. Now both of these gentlemen here, ooh, hanging it out.
More than hanging it out.
I love it, but they, through Franklin Road Complex, they both have customer cars here. They both prepare Datsuns for a living.
Yeah, when you can see more of the car number on the side door than you can on the front hood, that's hanging it out.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, Taz Harvey is also a very accomplished club racer. He was with us at Laguna Seca as well, and he not only has this car, but he has purchased one of Jim Downing's Kudzu Mazdas that he was just getting up to speed and kind of
Rob Fuller looking inside. He's got the advantage here if he can hold it. Troy Ermish giving him room, just like he should, but doesn't have the fastest line. Fuller looking outside in the Mission Foods turn 2. You can see Troy Ermish onto the brakes, just taps the brakes there to get through that turn.
Just to settle the car and get it rotated so he can get up the hill. This is the complete opposite from this morning when Fuller was able to get out front, and he actually pulled, even had a car in between them, but he can't find a way around Ermish, at least not as yet, John.
This is great racing too as they come down the hill and towards the carousel. Well, we said pay attention because it is good racing, and we can pay attention because it's just cracking racing between these two as they head over the crest and into the carousel for the second time. Ermish and Fuller close together.
Yeah, these two never disappoint. They always put on a great race. We look at Taz Harvey looking inside our men there, going through the WeatherTech carousel. Now we're on looking great shots here. Rob Fuller. You'll even see the Trans Am logo there on the rear quarter panel. The Bay Area Datsun dealers.
Now Taz Harvey and Armin Gorbani had a good battle for 3rd overall this morning, and they also in Datsun 510s. But the race to watch is up here at the front. Of course, and Alpha won the very first Trans Am race ever held overall with Jochen Rindt driving.
Look at them hitting these curves. That's Richard Stewart Milne, Armin, Taz Harvey. Taz looking to make a pass. Look for Taz to try to look inside or outside at turn 11. because the Datsun in front cuts a big hole in the air.
Just the one Toyota Corolla out there.
Yeah, he was with us at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Ermish and Harvey know each other very well. They've run SCCA Club races for many, many years together in these Datsuns. And, of course, Rob Fuller and Ermish are very well acquainted in SVRA races.
Stuart Milne got his work cut out now as this group. And at the back of that group is Taz Harvey in another 510.
Look at that beautiful car.
69.
It's David Anderson there, 1969, Datsun 510. And I was saying that it was David Anderson and Rick Sheldon who are best friends, and they've set up their cars exactly the same and come out here and go racing together. That is living the dream.
And you know, you would think that you would probably give the advantage to Ermish just because he races on the West Coast in SCCA Club racing and SVRA racing as well, but Fuller hanging right in there with him.
Yeah, Fuller has his shop in San Jose, so he's also Bay Area. This and Laguna are probably his home tracks, even closer than Troy Ermish. So now look at Taz Harvey coming around the WeatherTech carousel, looking out on Armin. He's the orange car there at third. Great shots that they swing out here.
Yeah.
Now look for Taz to look inside here at the Optima battery. Not close enough. Optima battery's turn 7.
Gorbani, I think, knew he was going there.
Ooh, somebody's smoking brakes.
Yeah. Even if Harvey would have gotten there, I believe Gorbani still had that covered.
Really good battle, isn't it?
Now look at how they're going to jump through these curbs. David Anderson there in that 35 as they come through Franklin Road Apparel Complex.
When you look at that Datsun 510, it's kind of a boxy looking sedan. A lot of body roll going back and forth as you go through the S's. You try to straighten out as much as possible, but it's not really a straight line. You kind of have to go offline a little bit back and forth. There's a lot of body roll going back and forth, a lot of hand movement.
A little bit of body damage here to the 52, but it doesn't look as though it's affecting him.
That's Jim Frula, new development car for him. Jim Frula develops and prepares cars, races all kinds of cool cars with us, and that he's not disappointing us there. And but Taz Harvey's slow there, and he's missed the pits. So we wonder what's happened to Taz Harvey. I don't see any damage on him.
The white flag's out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking, and that doesn't mean last lap, that means slow car on track. Yeah. But if you're joining us on SpeedTour TV on our YouTube/SpeedTour TV, leave some comments. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear from? Because we've got a great race coming on. I'm hearing about 4 laps left.
Ermish, Fuller and Milne is your top 3 at the moment. Gorbani in 4th place, then Anderson 5th. Frula, the man you mentioned in the 52B, in 6th.
But the battle definitely up front between Fuller and Ermish, and this is a continuation of WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Ermish may have won all 4 races, but he had to work his little Datsun off to keep Fuller off.
Good work.
Fuller behind him. You were a little nervous, weren't you?
I was.
And if you're Troy's wife, I'm going to want the footage from that rear camera after this race. We exchange footage quite a bit. She provides some of the coolest footage, and if you want to see what this looks like from in-car, last night I posted in-car video of that second car there, that white car of Rob Fuller giving us a lap here at Sonoma chasing Troy Ermish. And it is a busy lap. There really isn't a straightaway in this track. A straightaway is supposed to be you're racing in a straight line for 500 feet or more, and I don't think you're ever racing for 500 feet or more in a straight line. There are straight parts, but you all the track. You're not actually going straight here, and it is a busy lap.
Yeah, the straightaway here on the start-finish line actually bends to the left and then bends more to the left as you go through turn 1. The straightaway that uses part of the Sonoma International Raceway drag strip along either. You're down off the carousel and basically moving from left to right or right to left to get into the proper position for turn 7. And this short straightaway between turn 10 and Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers turn 11, that's not a long enough straight either. This is a definite handling track, and as we've talked all weekend long, a very busy technical track, a lot of hand movement, a lot of car control.
Cracking race this, and the B Sedans, our final coverage race of the day, and it's been a great weekend, hasn't it? Wonderful, wonderful weather. A little bit of a breeze yesterday, but this has been a great speed tour.
Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the country, Nevada, California, and I've enjoyed very much being here and being a part of this broadcast. Ben and Jonathan are doing a great job here this weekend. As always, we go into Lime Rock next.
Yep, looking forward to that.
And look at this, Rob Fuller and Troy. It's just Rob gets up behind him and then it just disappears. It's a crazy race as we look at Ed Matsuishi in a 1971 Datsun 510. He was with us in a Porsche at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, and there he is in that 711.
You know, he probably saw how much fun everybody was having and said, I want to be in on that too.
But look at this. There's Troy Ermish coming down the back S's from Franklin Road Apparel. Now he's got a little bit of a gap, and here's
He goes
Ed.
real quick through this section, actually. He gets about a 3 or 4 car length pull away.
Noah Hurwitz behind him in that yellow and black 1971 Datsun 510.
But watch now, Rob Fuller will kind of close up on him as they go into braking. But a great race. Again, Fuller able to pull away from Ermish this morning, but definitely that's not the case here as they're going back and forth, going at it very hard there, Jonathan.
No question about it, and this battle's just as good too. So we've got one at the front, and across the line they come. And that's the furthest he's got away from him, I think. Final lap.
So driver's pressure on. We've got Biff, Steele. Surely these are made-up names. Saying, are any of these cars coming to Road America? Hopefully, we will be at Road America in May, and we'd love to talk these drivers into coming to Road America. I saw Troy Ermish running in the runoffs at Road America a few years ago, but man, look at this. We're on the final lap.
You know Biff, he's Buff's brother.
Yeah. Can Rob Fuller catch up? You saw him smoke the rear brakes there coming into that turn. Now they're coming downhill into a very difficult WeatherTech carousel.
Yeah, now the key now for the car in second place, Rob Fuller, is to get as much drive out of this corner and make a setup move on the inside of the hairpin coming out of this corner. So he's got to slingshot himself, get the drive here. Whether he's got close enough, I don't think so. No, there's no way he's going to get through there, but you can see the gap for yourself there. But that would have been one way of doing it. But this is where the 38 is so good. From here on in, he really does separate himself from the 7. Watch this.
Yeah, and Ermish probably looking at his rearview mirror saying, how far back is he? Do I need to protect, or can I take my normal line through 7? And then he's going to be going down through the S's. And again, Fuller, I think his strength was what we just went through the first half of the track. I think that he does not have an answer for Ermish, at least in this race today.
Well, this is as close as he's been at this section anyway, and if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it in about the next 4 seconds. Don't think he's close enough.
But what a great race as they come into Big Machine Vodka Spike Cooler, turn 11. Looks like Troy Ermish might have it, so Jonathan, take the call.
Yeah, well, I could tell he was confident because he's got a rear view GoPro on the back of his car, meaning that he thinks he's going to win, and he's coming to the line, and he does too, that. Ermish takes the win in the 38. A good battle with Rob Fuller as the pair of them go head-to-head. Excellent stuff. Gorbani takes 3rd place. That's Armin Gorbani in the 1969 510, but a nice 510 display of brilliance there. And it's the 45 of Richard Stewart Milne in 4th position. Anderson takes 5th, Frula in 6th place, Howitz in 7th, Matsuishi in 8th, and Gagliano in 9th place, Blasco in 10th.
Great race. Enjoyed that very much. Yeah. The B Sedans put in on a great show, as they did at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. They do here at Sonoma International Raceway. The Mission Foods Sonoma SpeedTour, a very successful event. Enjoyed very much being a part of the broadcast. Ben and Jonathan.
What's your highlight been this weekend, Scott? You've been doing it all. You haven't missed much?
No. My highlight, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that real quickly here. I guess it would be the historic Trans Am race.
Yes, always good.
That was my, muscle car era when I was growing up as a kid, and I think that would be my highlight. Seeing those cars out there, the original cars still running out there, still running strong. Yeah, that would be my highlight, I believe.
My thanks to Scott Conway as ever. He'll be with us as ever for the next one at Lime Rock and on. My thanks once again to Ben Sissel and the entire Greenlight TV production crew for putting on some excellent coverage throughout the weekend. I'm Jonathan Green. We will be with you throughout the season as we traverse the iconic circuits of America as part of the SVRA Speed Tour. Trans Am continues next time out at Lime Rock. You can catch all the highlights on the CBS Sports Network. From me, Jonathan Green. Until next time, goodbye.